Hello students, I hope you all are fine and healthy. We are reading chapter number 3, Atoms and Molecules. So in our previous video, we had started the topic Laws of Chemical Combination. We have already read the Law of Conservation of Mass in the previous video. So today first we will discuss some problems related to the Law of Conservation of Mass, and then we will learn the law of constant proportion. So the first question is, sodium carbonate reacts with the ethanoic acid to form sodium ethanoate, carbon dioxide and water. So in an experiment, 5.3 grams of sodium carbonate reacted with 6 grams of ethanoic acid to form 8.2 gram of sodium ethanoate, 2.2 gram of carbon dioxide and 0.9 gram of water. So in this question, we have to show that this data verifies the law of conservation of mass. So basically in these types of questions, we have to calculate the mass of reactants and mass of products separately, and if both the masses are equal, so the law of conservation of mass is verified. Means if the mass of reactants will be equal to the mass of products, so the law of conservation is verified. So basically in this question, sodium carbonate reacts with ethanoic acid to give sodium ethanoate, carbon dioxide and water. So sodium carbonate and ethanoic acid, they both are reactants, whereas sodium ethanoate, carbon dioxide and water, these three are products. So first of all, we will calculate the mass of the reactants. Mass of the reactants will be equal to mass of sodium carbonate plus mass of ethanoic acid. And the mass of sodium carbonate given is 5.3 grams and mass of ethanoic acid is 6 grams. So 5.3 grams plus 6 grams is equals to 11.3 grams. Now we will calculate the mass of the products. That will be equal to mass of sodium ethanoate plus mass of carbon dioxide plus mass of water. So in the question, mass of sodium ethanoate is 8.2 grams, mass of carbon dioxide is 2.2 grams and mass of water is 0.9 grams. So when we will add these three, we will get 11.3 grams. So here we can see that the mass of the reactants is equal to the mass of the product. So this reaction verifies the law of conservation of mass. Now the next question is, potassium chlorate decomposes on heating to form potassium chloride and oxygen. So in an experiment, when 24.5 gram of potassium chlorate is decomposed completely, then 14.9 gram of potassium chloride is formed. Now we have to calculate the mass of oxygen formed. And in the question it is also asked, which law of chemical combination will you use in solving this problem? So for solving this problem, we will use law of conservation of mass. We can write this equation as potassium chlorate on heating gives potassium chloride plus oxygen. So in this reaction, potassium chlorate is reactant, whereas potassium chloride plus oxygen, they both are products. So according to the law of conservation of mass, mass of reactants is equal to the mass of products. So in this question, mass of potassium chlorate, that is the reactant, will be equal to mass of potassium chloride plus mass of oxygen. They both are the products. So in the question it is given that the mass of potassium chlorate is 24.5 grams, whereas the mass of potassium chloride formed is 14.9 gram. So if we will subtract 14.9 gram from 24.5 gram, then we will get the mass of the oxygen formed. So the mass of oxygen formed is equals to 24.5 minus 14.9 grams. So the answer will be 9.6 grams. So when 24.5 gram of potassium chlorate is decomposed, then 14.9 gram of potassium chloride is formed and 9.6 grams of oxygen is formed. Now we will learn another law of chemical combination, that is law of constant proportion. This law is also known as law of definite proportion. This law was given by Proust in 1779. So according to this law, a chemical compound always consists of the same elements combined together in the same proportion by mass. So it means that a pure compound is always made up of same elements combined in the same mass percentage. So whatever be the source from which a compound is obtained or the method from which it is prepared, a compound is always made up of same elements in the same ratio of mass. For example, water is a compound which is always made up of two elements, that are hydrogen and oxygen, that are combined in the same proportion of 1:8 by mass. So if we will decompose 100 grams of water using electricity, then we will get 11 grams of hydrogen and 89 grams of oxygen. Even if we will take water from the different sources, then also we will get the same result. So in water, the hydrogen and oxygen, they are always combined in the same proportion or same ratio of 11:89 or 1:8 by mass. Means in a particular compound, the ratio of the mass of different elements is fixed. So now we will solve some problems based on this law. So now we will solve a question based on the law of conservation of mass. So the question is, in an experiment, 4.90 grams of copper oxide was formed from 3.92 grams of copper. And in another experiment, 4.55 gram of copper gave on reduction 3.64 grams of copper. So we have to show that these figures verifies the law of constant proportion. So basically in these types of questions, we have to calculate the ratio of elements in both the samples, and if the ratio comes equal, then the law of conservation of mass is verified. So in the first experiment, the mass of the copper oxide is 4.90 grams and the mass of copper is 3.92 grams. So we know that copper oxide is formed by the combination of copper and oxygen. So from the law of conservation of mass, we know that mass of reactants is equals to mass of products. So in this case, mass of copper plus mass of oxygen will be equal to mass of copper oxide, because here copper and oxygen, they both are reactants and copper oxide is products. So for calculating the mass of oxygen, we will subtract the mass of copper from mass of copper oxide. So here we will keep, in place of mass of copper oxide, we will keep 4.9 grams, and in place of copper we will keep 3.92 grams. So 4.9 grams minus 3.92 grams, we will get the answer 0.98 grams. Now we will calculate the ratio of mass of copper with the mass of oxygen. So the mass of copper here is 3.92 grams and mass of oxygen is 0.98 grams. So when we will divide it, we will get the ratio of 4:1. Now in the second experiment, the copper oxide decomposes to form copper and oxygen. In the question, the mass of the copper formed is given and we have to find out the mass of oxygen. So we will use the law of conservation of mass to find the mass of oxygen. So mass of oxygen will be equal to mass of copper oxide minus mass of copper. So mass of the copper oxide given is 4.55 gram and mass of copper is 3.64 grams. So when we will subtract 3.64 from 4.55, we will get the answer 0.91 gram. So this is the mass of oxygen. Now we will find the ratio of mass of copper with the mass of oxygen. So 3.64 ratio 0.91. When we will divide it, we will get the ratio of 4:1. So the ratio of mass of copper and mass of oxygen is equal in both the samples, that is 4:1. So this data verifies the law of constant proportion. Now the next question is, magnesium and oxygen combines in the ratio of 3:2 by mass to form magnesium oxide. So what mass of oxygen gas would be required to react completely with the 24 grams of magnesium? So in the question it is already given that the magnesium and oxygen combines in the fixed ratio of 3:2. So it means that the 3 grams of magnesium requires 2 grams of oxygen. So from this, first of all, we will calculate the oxygen required by 1 gram of magnesium. So 1 gram of magnesium will require 2/3 grams of oxygen. Now we can easily find out the oxygen required by 24 grams of magnesium. So 24 grams of magnesium requires 24 multiplied with 2/3 grams of oxygen. So if we will divide 24 from 3, 8 will come, then 8 multiplied with 2, it will be equal to 16 grams. So 16 grams of oxygen is required to react completely with the 24 grams of magnesium. So that's it, students, for today. We will continue our chapter in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Take care.